You Season 3 hasn't been out on Netflix for long, but many of us quickly finished it. Now we have to wait for Season 4. The fans have so many theories and questions that we want answered in Season 4, so let's check out some of the most mind-blowing. Could someone we all think is dead actually be alive? Will Joe finally get caught? And so much more. Warning, massive spoilers ahead. Is Love Quinn Goldberg actually dead? Was it just me, or did the way that Joe ended up killing Love just feel way too easy for anyone else? She's always been pretty smart, plus she's still the mother of Joe's kid. One would think he would hesitate just a little bit when it comes to killing her, or at least think for a moment longer than he would with someone else. I mean, I get it. She did try to kill him first and he outsmarted her, but still, it feels like one of those serial killer movies where the killer just didn't die. Killing Love should not have happened that easily. Another thing that kind of makes me doubt it is the fact that we only have Joe's word for what happened. It was all told with him narrating, and he does tend to twist the truth a tad bit, telling things how he thinks they happened and not necessarily how they actually happened. Who knows what the exact truth is? I guess we'll find out in Season 4. And the last thing that still makes me doubt is the fact that it wouldn't exactly be the first time that one of the women who Joe thinks he killed came back from the dead. He was really sure he killed Candace and she was dead, but he was wrong, at least the first time, and she came back. That makes me wonder if we really have seen the last of Love Quinn. If she is dead, could she come back anyway? Having the new season without any sighting of Love might just feel really weird. Besides being a psycho killer, she's still a very interesting character. In the event that she is actually dead, they could bring her back to haunt Joe. If Beck's death haunted Joe enough to see her all over the place, then chances are that Love's will trigger him even more. She might be a constant companion in Season 4. I can just hear her whispering in his ear whenever he's stalking someone. What happened to Theo and Matthew? At the end of Season 3, we got a recap from Joe about what happened to most of the town's people, but we never really got to see where Theo and Matthew ended up. And does Matthew actually believe the story of Love and Joe both being dead? He might have some guilt because he left Joe paralyzed in their house, supposedly leaving him to be killed and baked into a pie. This could mean that he digs deeper to figure out if Joe is actually really dead. Matthew didn't believe the story that the Goldbergs cooked up to explain Natalie's death, so he seems like the obvious choice to not believe the story that Joe wanted everyone to believe. The only question would be if he would care enough to actually investigate. He loved Natalie, and he knew her, so it would make sense that he would want the truth, but he might want to put the entire thing behind him now. Still, both Matthew and Theo must have some major trauma from everything that Love and Joe put them through, so it could be very possible that he might still be obsessed enough to want to investigate every aspect. And he might even figure out that Joe is still alive. Will they leave little Henry and his new family in peace? Joe might not be the best role model, but he did end up really bonding with his son and really loving him. But one thing he was right about is the fact that Henry is better off with Dante and Lansing. It was one of the best things that Joe has ever done when he gave Henry up to them. But will Joe actually be able to follow through and not get obsessed with getting Henry back? Will he stalk him on social media to see if he's okay, but leave him in peace besides that? I'm not sure if Joe can master that level of self-control, but I do hope so. Henry deserves to have a nice, normal family life, and with his genes, he's going to need every sense of normality he can get. If he's going to have any chance of not turning into his parents, nurture is going to need to be much stronger than nature. But Joe isn't the only danger when it comes to Henry's peaceful life. Dottie doesn't exactly give up that easily either. I know she ended up losing custody of Henry at the end of Season 3 after a long court battle, but she didn't mind kidnapping him from her own daughter. What's to say she'll let him be with his new family? Could that be what forces Joe to come back? We'll have to see and wait. Where are Maureen and her daughter? When Joe and Maureen were talking about the future and what she would do if she didn't have to worry about her ex-husband, a little thing Joe took care of for her, she said that she wanted to take her daughter to Paris and live there with her. Then, when Joe left his life behind and faked his death, he went looking for Maureen, as she's still currently his latest obsession, but we don't know for sure whether or not she's actually in Paris or not. Maureen and Love did have their little heart-to-heart just before Maureen fled, and even though we don't know how much Maureen believed, Love did warn her to go somewhere that Joe couldn't find her. So would she actually move to that place that she told him about? Probably not. But if she knows that Joe is supposedly dead, then she might chance it. That is another big question that needs answering in Season 4. Did you love Season 3? And are there any questions that that you desperately need answers to. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But we aren't done yet. Could Joe become the person who's getting stalked? Could he be caught? And more. Let's see. Could Joe become the person who's getting stalked? Joe just loves watching people without them knowing about him, but there might just be someone who's watching him and is just as obsessed with Joe as he regularly becomes with different women. And I'm not talking about love, someone who might even be closer to Joe than that. Remember in season 3 in the flashbacks when Joe goes to see his mother, she has a little boy with her. Was that boy Joe's brother or maybe half-brother? We aren't sure, but it could be. And it just feels like they showed us the character for a reason. I do think we'll see him in the future. Will we have a bit of hero worship for Joe and really want to meet him? Or does he hate him and want to take him down? Again, we aren't sure, but having a mini Joe trying to play him at his own game might be a lot of fun to watch. Could Ellie come forward? Ellie's life was severely stuffed up by Joe and Love. Her sister was killed and she had to go into hiding because Love would have surely taken her out if she had any chance. But she wasn't exactly feeling very loving toward Joe either. He might have been sending her money, but he was kind of just as responsible for everything as Love was. Ellie is accepting his help, but only because she has had no real choice. If she thinks that Joe and Love are both dead, could she come back and expose him? It's very possible. Fans also want to know if Joe is still going to send her money, and could that be the way that everyone finds out that Joe is actually still alive? I really kind of hope that they do give Ellie some sort of opportunity to get some revenge. Will Joe stay focused? At the moment, Joe is completely focused on finding Maureen and building his life with her, whether that is in her plans to or not. But we don't know for sure if he will ever actually find her or not. Can Joe really stay focused on one woman while he can't find her to stalk her? I'm not so sure. One thing that we do know is that Joe can't really stop himself from stalking people. He's in the city of love, and I just don't know if he won't get distracted at some point. We will have to wait and see though. But without Joe having obsessions, the show just won't be the same. Will Joe get caught? Another thing that Joe can't keep himself from doing is killing people. It won't be long before he kills another person, and he tends to land himself into trouble. He's been lucky so far, but he'll probably be caught at some stage. We know Penn Badgley would love to see it. Share your theories for Season 4 with us in the comments section. We'll see you in the next video, but until then, thanks for watching.